In an unbelievably dominating showing in one of the most difficult fields in the entire world, my four-player team of Jakob Toth, myself, Eli Cassis, and Mike Sigrist went 17-3 in non-mirror matches, which we see right now, of course, unfortunately. 17-3 in non-mirrors at the World Championship, and now you're about to see me play it right here, right now. Alright, what is up, my friends? Welcome to the Monday video here on CoolStuffInc.com. We're doing the World's Run now. Of course, if you missed it, I came in 5th place at the Magic the Gathering World Championships, won 20 grand, and my team did quite well. And last Friday, I played my standard deck that my team played. Esper mid-range, that was exciting. However, our Explorer deck was extremely exciting. Myself, Jakob Toth, Eli Cassis, and Mike Sigrist all played this deck. And our record was unbelievable. We went 17-3 in non-mirror matches. I went 4-2 on day 2. I only lost to Eli and Jakob. So this deck was phenomenally good for the tournament at Worlds, and honestly a really good player and explorer in general. It is mono blue spirits, and yes, I was surprised too when Eli kept beating me with this deck. However, this deck just lines up really, really well. So this feels like a metagame deck in a lot of ways, right? This deck is actively very good against kind of sorcery speed, clunky combo decks. Great against Greasefang, great against Fires of Invention. The fear is, though, that we get crushed by decks like Rakdos, you know, all the removal spells and Thought Seizes. But the reality is that it just hangs. And then the big innovation we have for this tournament was Leyline of Combustion in the sideboard. And of course, I'm right in front of it. I apologize. Slide me over. There I go. Leyline of Combustion is a red Leyline, where whenever you or a permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, they take 2. So they want to Fatal Push a creature, take 2. Want to Thoughtseize you, take 4. Most importantly, they want to Mayhem Devil you. Every single trigger will cost them 2 life. So this was the secret weapon against Rakdos that made the Rakdos matchup go from being, honestly, maybe a slight dog to being in a favorite. And it was at the point at Worlds where we felt like we weren't a dog against actual anything. My full article from last Friday on CoolStuffInc.com goes over Worlds. So I give you a sideboard guide and all notes with the deck. Go read that for sure. We're going to play some games today, and we're going to see the deck in action. Now, it is important to note that this deck was built specifically for Worlds and the kind of tight Worlds metagame. It might do a little bit worse in an open field, but it's still a very powerful, very proactive, and very awesome deck, and you're going to see it right now. So let's get right to the games. First, we have a quick word from our sponsor, CoolStuffInc.com.
Cool Stuff Inc. is proud to sponsor Jim Davis. We offer great deals on card games, tabletop RPGs, board games, and more. Get a free token featuring Jim Davis and take 5% off your next order if you use the code JIM5 at checkout. CoolStuffInc.com. Cool stuff in stock.
All right, let's rock and roll. We are in gold, unfortunately. The ladder reset recently, and I haven't played too much since I got home from Worlds, but that's okay. We're going to look at an opening hand that's pretty good. 2 counter spells, 2 creatures, and I was just fine and keep this. Spell Pierce, Lofty Denial, Spectral Sailor. Usually looking for a Curious Possession in the opener if possible, but this is pretty good. So, pass the old turn ski and get the ball rolling. And Fanatical Firebrand. So right off the bat, a tough matchup. Mono red can be difficult for sure. They have a lot of removal spells and pressure us pretty hard. So we'll see how we do here. We're not going to block. We're going to untap. And we're just going to attack in for 1. Hopefully Rattlechains can get a good shot off here. Coming in again. Mono red deck was not played at Worlds. Definitely a deck doesn't seem super great in the format, but obviously in a larger metagame. They're going to light up a stage here. We're going to Spell Pierce this. It's possible they have no second land, which should be huge for us, so let's fire up Spell Pierce. And no second land. Wow. And we got Supreme Phantom. Wow. Alright, now we're killing it. So, Supreme Phantom, not important in some matchups. You know, the Lord effect is not as important as the flash element of a deck. But in a matchup like this, it's very, very important. Being able to size up and they're going to light up stage again. Sure. So they're going to sacrifice Firebrand, deal 1 to me, and light up stage again, looking for that land. Or they're going to skewer, actually. Oh, wow. Oh, they're in terrible shape. Oh, they're in ghastly shape right now. So countering that light up stage was huge. Here's a Gitu Lava Runner. I think that's fine. I'm cool with that. Does have haste. It's totally cool. We're going to chain it up here. Dubs chains. 2 chains. And draw an island. Alright, so a little flooded, but that's fun. Of course, Spectral Sailor is good flood insurance. We have Counterspell and card drop. Of course, the missing land drops as well. So, looking pretty good here. There's land number 2. Attacking for 2 with Lava Runner. Down to 13. They say go. So, if we go to draw a Sailor here, they could stomp us. I think that's kind of fine, though. Yeah, just draw. None of our creatures in play are particularly that important. And the Bone Crusher Giant itself is not that bad either. So, they're going to Wizard's Lightning me. Down to 10. Okay. And play. They're going face. Play a Fire me, scry 1, scry top. Alright, we draw Supreme Phantom, and we draw Sailor. That's pretty good. Play Phantom, attack for a bunch. And now we have Counterspell plus Blocker. I think we're in great shape here. Be hard pressed to lose this one, I think. Good old Spell Pierce. I'm a big Spell Pierce fan. Coming in clutch this game. Hitting that light up a stage. I have lethal over 3 different creatures, so looking pretty good. Definitely still a pretty tough matchup, but they're going to shock me. That's going to resolve. Got to do better than that. Lightning Strike me, that's not going to resolve. And they're dead anyway, so. Cool. Alright, sweet. One more. Just for, just to make sure. Really got to make sure we have all of our stuff in place. So, this is a huge spot for Ledger Shredder. And also the kind of oddball card in our sideboard in Cobbled Lancer. A question I've answered a lot on stream is, why is Cobbled Lancer in your sideboard? We had 2 actually, because 2 would look better than 1. It's for this matchup. It's for mono red decks. It was kind of a Rakdos too, but a lot of the Rakdos decks board in the Hideshu saga. I didn't want to be exposed to that. So it ended up being kind of mostly for mono red, but Cobbled Lancer is very good here as well. Aether Gust is good too. We're going to cut down on some of the finicky counter spells. I would say, let's see. Rattlechains, actually Shacklegeist is not really necessary. They're more spell-even creature-y. Got the Adversary. Spell Pierce I think is still good. Got the Combat Research. Comes out almost every time. Honestly, Ascendant Spirit's pretty bad too. Pretty easy cuts. Again, the full sideboard guide in my article on CoolStuffInc.com from last Friday. She have like a Lofty Denial or 2, I think. Let me have Witness Protection. Need to be aware of Goblin Chain Whirler for sure. That's a real card against us. I kind of want a second Borrower too. If we need to affect the board. So we have 2 Borrowers and 1 Aether Gust. Chains, Phantom, Ascendant Spirit, Lancer. This is fine. I really don't love Ascendant Spirit here, honestly, but maybe it's a 3rd Borrower. I don't have that many creatures, though, either. This is fun. Don't want red Leyline here, because even if I target our creatures fairly often, they can race us. So, it's, red Leyline kind of puts them in a racing situation, and they're pretty good at that, so I don't really want that there. Alright. So, we got a little lucky in game 1. That Spell Pierce really shut him down on turn 2. But now we have much better tools. Aether Gust, and mostly Shredder. Shredder is just, so unbelievably good in these matchups against aggro decks. Because aggro decks are the decks that scare you a little bit. They're the ones that can kind of get under you. This is a deck that plays really, really well when you're ahead, but not as good when you're behind. So Shredder's really, really good at coming down on turn 2 and growing pretty fast and getting that done for you. Opponent deciding play draw here. Let me get our Cobbled Lancer going. I want to remind you all, as always, there's a companion article to this video on CoolStuffInc.com, as there always is. I do a video article every Monday and a written article every Friday. Again, last Friday's article was all about my run at Worlds, the World Championship, Dominaria United Limited, Standard, and Explorer. 32 of the best players in the world. Actually, I could say 31 and me. We just came in 5th place on Breakers with a cut to top 4. Losing to my teammate in the last round. So, almost got there, top 4 in Worlds, and then who knows what would happen from there. But still a pretty exciting and stressful run there at Magic 30. Opponent on the play, and we got a 1-lander. Yeah, we're going to have to mulligan this hand, unfortunately. Sailor Obsession land, you know, feels... It's sort of like their light up a stage where, like, it's a 1-lander, but might get us there as far as drawing cards, but we can't risk them just, like, killing our Sailor or whatever. We're just going to ship this hand back. It does have Shredder, which is pretty good, but... They are really in the tank here. All right, so we're going to mulligan this. To a much worse 1-lander. All right, so we're going to 5. Sure. We're going to keep this. I think I'm actually going to ship Sailor and Rattlechains and try to go Spirit on 1, Pump on 2, Illuminator on 3. It's probably our best chance to win. Our hand's pretty bad here, honestly, but what are you going to do? 5 cards I'm going to draw against mono red. We'll do our best. Here's a Scorch Spitter. And here's our Ascendant Spirit. Honestly, probably block if they let me. Illuminator's pretty clutch here, honestly. It does die to a lot of their cards, but... A Ponderous Mono Red opponent, turn 2. Ascendant Spirit's one of the weaker cards in my deck. It comes out a lot in sideboarding. It's just very, very clunky. And you end up in spots where, like, it does seem like it would be good, because you can, like, leave mana for a counterspell, and if they don't cast anything, you can just, like, pump mana to Spirit. But often then that gives them a chance to cast the spell they wanted to cast anyways. You can't even afford to pump mana into it, so... Alright, it's a shock. Attack for 1, sure. High hopes for Illuminator here. And light up a stage, and they reveal a Pyromancer and a Ramunap Ruins. I guess we'll Phantom here. We could Wanderer try and block, but Phantom blocks also, and it's more mana efficient if we draw another 1 or 2 drop next turn. Specifically, Shredder would be a good draw. We go land, Shredder, Wanderer. Also, if they have like a lightning strike, they're gonna attack here. Wow, okay. So we're very happy to block here. Trade up 2 for 1, no problem. And if they use a spell here, they don't play on cast. That's awesome as well. So worst case here is like a shock. Sure, play the fire. That's totally fine. So trade 2 for 1. You know, get their resources down. They play land. They play Pyromancer. They're gonna light up a stage and not play land Pyromancer. That is insane. Wow. And we draw a Shredder. Wow, look at that. Look at us. We're so smart. So smart. Wanderer. Why discard a spell really bad? We do. Excellent. So I have a 2/4 Shredder and a Wanderer, which is great. I can't believe they just like let that value on the table there. And now they gotta cast a Striker, it goes away. Pyromancer, sure. Take 2. They're gonna strike me. They're gonna shred. Just gonna land. Do I want a Wanderer here? I kind of do, actually. I don't think his Wanderer matters that much, but damage does add up. We have a good blocker in play already. We're playing another one. Just like counter this. Curious Obsession. I'm gonna Illuminator here. Just mana efficiency. Play Illuminator. And we're gonna illuminate the creature. Top card is Geistlight Snare. And we have a Ledger Shredder. So next turn we can go Obsession and Snare. I'm just gonna... I would say Am I blocking the Pyromancer or no is the big question. I would say I am, actually. They want a 2-for-1 themselves with the Shredder. Like I block and they shock it, that's fine. Then I have Obsession plus Snare next turn. Play with Fire me. Scry top. Skewer the critics. Targeting me. We shred the Snare, sure. We're out of cards now, so we're at 10. Yeah, a lot of lands here. We're gonna Obsession the Illuminator and attack. We might want to leave this Shredder back, honestly, because now we're in, like, you know, burnout damage range. So let's just do that. Attack. We're going to exile an instant. And we'll draw. Top card is an Obsession. It's not really working. Once you player, but if your end step, if you didn't attack. I did attack this turn. So let's put... Oh, I can't guess that. Never mind. Let's take up. So, at 10, need to close the game. Wow. Holy crap. That was unexpected. That is very good here. We're kindling Phoenix back from the days where we had cool animations on Arena. Alright. Untap and draw Curious Obsession. And have another land on top. That's actually pretty gross. But I guess we can, like, Obsession... Damn. That's insane. They can just block with this every turn. So, if I don't attack, my Obsession goes away, too? That's insane. I guess the, Haven attack's pretty bad, too. Wow. This is so awkward. What a good card against us. Realistically, I mean, I can't attack. I can put the Obsession on the Shredder, but I'm not going to throw away an Illuminator to draw a card. Yeah, we're just going to go here. Holy crap. That's really insane. So you lose the Obsession. And now, I mean, the Shredder can block the Phoenix for the moment. But, holy cow. We have 2 Borrowers and an Aether Gust in our deck. And another land on top. Oh my god. Alright. Sure. Any spell or any instant or creature on top we can cast. But, alright, we're gonna say go. We're at 10. Man, Rekindling Phoenix is really, really mucking up the waters here. End step Shock Me. Down to 8. Top card is a Curious. Just literally any creature or instant, please. Alright. We're in some doo-doo. Effectively at 4, thanks to 2 Ramanap Ruins. Alright. Down to 6. As a Castle Emberth. And they're just going to hard cast Light Up Stage. They could attack with the Phoenix. They don't have any good blocks anymore. But chose not. They hit Wizard's Lightning and that. They had to shoot me or shoot the Illuminator. Just going face. So aggressive. We have to connive away an Obsession. Down to 3. Let me draw another land on top. Oh my god. Alright, we can shred at least. So let's play Shredder. I mean, we're gonna just mill 2 cards and grow these. Sure. I think we're pretty dead here, honestly, but whatever. Alright, so we have to reset our top card. Discard a land. Discard a land. Top card is now Geistlight Snare, which is castable. But I don't really have any attacks here either. Alright, we're pretty dead. We're dead to like almost... I guess we have the Snare, obviously. It's face up, though, so... Untap. Top card is another land. Alright, well, I mean, Brick City here. Might as well building a house. Let's just say go. And step. Click the wrong land. Sure, I meant to cast. I meant to Ramanap Ruins us, I assume. Not gonna matter. We're just super dead here. Another Ruins. All right, we're just dead. We need to run off like a bunch of insane cards in a row here. But we have a land on top. So all right, it's a pretty awful game for us. Land on top basically every turn. Pretty nasty Phoenix. That's okay though. In theory, the 4-mana sorcery speed card shouldn't be very good against us. It was good there though. Let's bring another Borrower. And I'm going to shave another Spirit, I think. This card's just terrible, so... Shave Ascendant Spirit. Now we're on the play, too, so definitely a really weird game there. Alright, on the play. Double Shredder, Borrower, Gust Wanderer. Love it. Land Wanderer, go. Got the one Aether Gust, too. Fanatical Firebrand. Are they going to kill my Wanderer or attack for one? Kill the Wanderer. Sure. No problem at all. We go Land Shredder. Plenty more where that came from. Old Den of the Bugbear. A lot of good red. Literally lands at red. Lightning Strike, sure. Let me go land. Yeah, we're gonna Shredder. I would like this one to live, honestly, if possible, but and we could have like waited to be able to cast 2 spells, make it a 2/4. Can't cast this obviously because they would be able to think. All right, cool. There's Pyromancer, take 2. And now I get to Obsession and go nuts. Geistlight Snare. Ooh, yeah. Obsession. Attack. Draw. Let me draw a land. Guess I'll play lands, I go. We have a ton of interaction in our hand now. Here comes Pyromancer. This is fine. If he has Light Up a Stage, will I counter it? I think so. Yeah, I think so. I don't, like, love this, but... Second spell here would be sweet. We grow our Shredder. Oh, wow. Okay, sure. Shredder Sailor. I think I still want this Borrower. So now I got a 3/5 Shredder, which is going to be very, very hard for them to kill. And they hit a Skewer and a Play with Fire. We draw another counterspell. Love it. Attack. Draw. Spell Pierce. Oh, yeah. Off to the races. Ledger Shredder. Kind of go solo here, coast to coast. You know what? I'm actually going to Brazen Borrower this. Because if they want to cast these, they can't do this. And make Skewer cheaper also. Let them recast it. Whatever. They lose these 2 things. Then I might double spell also with the Spell Pierce or the Aether Gust. So I get to Connive again. There's a toughness number where this thing is almost unassailable. So they're going to play a fire targeting me. Sure. Now they're going to Skewer me also probably. Scribe bottom. And we'll Connive off of their spell. Discard Cobbled Lancer. We'll Spell Pierce and Connive off our spell. Discard Wanderer. And this is a big chunky boy. That's a big bird. Sesame Street is here. Supreme Phantom, Brazen Borrower, Geistlight Snare, Aether Gust. That's pretty good here. Honestly. We can just play Phantom, I guess. Freaking 5/7 Shredder. Just 2-turn clock, the game's just over. And again, the red deck can't deal 7 damage to a creature, so... Even if they could, we have Geistlight Snare and Aether Gust and stuff too, so... Play with fire, targeting me. You got it. Light up a stage. Connive. Sure. Snare this. Alright. Spectral Sailor. I'm just gonna draw a card. It's gonna be a land. Play land, so go. Now you have Gust plus Borrower or Gust Petty Theft Spirit. B2 Lava Runner resolves. Wizard's Lightning. Shred. I mean, doesn't really matter, I guess, right? Like, grow that. Sure. Take 3. Yeah, whatever. Sure. Awesome. Shredder takes it down. So, yeah, I mean, that's the kind of thing about this deck is, it feels like it should be, like, really, really behind in some matchups, and it just sort of wins. I don't know. I'm very surprised, too. A big thing, of course, is that, you know, Explorer doesn't have Rending Valley like Pioneer does, which is a pretty good card against us, but still, very surprising. David. Oh, boy. Oh, we're going to keep, and we're going to pretty sad, probably. We have the nuts here. Turn 1, 1 drop. Turn 2, Curiosity plus Snare. If they have a 1-mana removal spell, things go pretty wrong, but can't not keep this, I don't think. So, 1 land is obviously the risky part here, but could always, like, adjust and, like, play a second Wanderer on 2 if we're feeling a little scared. If we draw land, a second Wanderer could defend our first Wanderer, which is kind of cool also. So, alright, Wanderer, do your thing. How about a trial from our opponent, huh? Love it. Tap land all day. Go get him, buddy. We need a land here, though. We need a land here. Come on. Oh, yeah, that's how you do it. Alright, and then we're going to leave up Geistlight Snare. I think so. Kind of like a portable hole or something like that. Wow. Wow. Alright, I mean, we're off to the races here. Here comes our buddy. Fateful Absence. Sorry. Sorry about that whammy. Maybe get a little value off my pump, too. Draw a card. And now we have Instant Speed Wanderer or Geistlight Snare. Yeah, this is hand has panned out well for us. Field of Ruin. No targets here. We are not going to end step the Wanderer, though, because we're going to keep our mana up to defend our Wanderer in play. Untap and play land immediately so I have all my things up. And fire in the attack. Just keep it going. The fear here, of course, is Supreme Verdict, but we've drawn enough cards now where we're pretty good. Shark Typhoon for 1. Okay. That's fine. There's your Typhoon. There's your Shark. They're gonna block this and we're gonna play a Wanderer. And if they have exactly maybe it's actually Shacklegeist. Because we're scared of the card Supreme Verdict next turn. That's our big concern, obviously. So we want to be able to make sure we can recover from that. I think Shacklegeist might be our worst. Because we Shacklegeist and then they Wrath. We can end step Chains and then have Chains in play, Phantom, Wanderer, Snare all in hand. Whereas I play a 1-drop now, we're kind of wasting a mana if we Chains end step otherwise. Yeah. Play Geist, pump that. So Supreme Verdict is a card that concerns us here a little bit, but there were 0 copies of Supreme Verdicts at the World Championship, as far as I know. Hit that perfect spot in the metagame. And the question is, if they do nothing, what do we do? Like, do we want to apply more pressure to the board here? I don't think so. I think this is good. Untap, draw land. I'm going to move to combat. Because I'll play land first. Even if we were to draw a Faceless Haven, they have a field in play anyway, so. There's your attack. The Wandering Emperor. I mean, they're going to minus here. And then we just use the Rattlechains in our hand. Problem is that they untap and Wrath now. It's pretty gross, too. I'm just going to counter this. Again, trying to insulate ourselves against Verdict as much as possible. Alright, then. I guess no Verdict. Alright, so we get to bring in our slips. Brazen Borrower is very good against their Shark Typhoons. We're going to keep the research, and usually cut the research is just like bad, but like it's good here, obviously. Take out the Shacklegeist. Take out, I need to cut a few more cards here. I think Ascendant Spirit is just like the worst card of the deck, so I don't mind cutting one or two of these. I'm going to draw. Maybe we cut the combat research. I don't know. Rattlechains, Adversary. I guess Phantom's pretty bad here, honestly. We're definitely not trying to go super wide against the Supreme Verdict deck, and then we each want as many instant speed cards as possible too. So I kind of like that actually. Let's do this. Most slow decks are good matchups. Obviously, the Supreme Verdict deck's a little bit different, but I still think it's good for us. Just gotta be careful. Slip's also great against Verdict too. So, all right. So we have the Obsession draw, but no one drop. This is fine. We keep this. We have like 11 one-drops we're drawing to, and then like just playing chains and doing this on turn 3 is fine also. That is all minus spell. Not one of the ones we're looking for, but Lofty D. Okay. Alright. So attempt to play Rattlechains. Resolves really fast. Wow. Alright. Interesting. Do we go for Obsession here? And then if we do, what do we leave up? I'm gonna go for it. Let's see what happens. Okay. Gonna go for the attack. We have Slip and Chains and Lofty up. What is going on here? Yeah, this Havens are pretty awkward, honestly. Like, they're obviously good, but like really want as much blue as possible. They're trying to do nothing again. Alright, I mean, I'm just attacking again, so. If I had a third blue, I might have played second Obsession, but they're in a March of Otherworldly Light. We're just going to Rattlechains here. We have Geistlight Snare up and Slip up. Opponent is making life incredibly easy for us. A land too, sick. So now I have Snare plus Slip up. Yep, that's pretty good. Give him the old Slipski. Whoop! And then that goes away. And just keep doing our thing. Double Obsession now, too, I think. We're just going all the way. We're going all the way. We're going big. Go big or go home. Draw. Draw. Land. Everything's instant speeds. We just say go. Alright, yeah, easy game. Sweet. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. Pretty good. Alrighty. Let's roll. Ooh. Opponent mulligans. This is a pretty sketchy hand. We have, like, you know, close to the really good draw. Turn 1 Wanderer, turn 2 Combat Research. If we draw a land, we can Snare or Pierce. The problem, of course, is we don't draw a land, but opponent mulligan, we're going to keep this. I mean, this hand does fall apart pretty bad if they have, like, a Thoughtseize or a Mool spell, but, like, we can also just draw a creature, too, so they mulliganed. Risky keep. If this is a 6-card hand, I was bottling Lofty Knowledge, I'd be pretty happy about it, so. Oh my god. It's a mirror. The only match I've ever lost with this deck is a mirror, in Worlds at least. So we'll see what we can do. We do have Wander. Our hand is pretty good. Mirror is really, really messy. Very, very ugly mirror match. I lost to both Ely and Jakob. In Worlds, the games are really, really ugly. Board gets really gummed up. And it's funny because the way we built our deck, I think that our deck is built exceptionally well for the metagame, except for the mirror. Because we're not playing many Shacklegeists, and we have no disputes on our board. Reed Duke was the one player in Worlds who also played this deck. There were 5 copies of his deck in Worlds. 4 of them were our team, 1 was Reed. But Reed was playing 4 Shacklegeists and 4 Sideboard Mystical Disputes, which I think is worse against the field, but better in the mirror. And he crushed Siggy in the mirror in, like, the 7-7 bracket or whatever. Man, I can't even combat research here. Oh boy, this is really gross. Alright, sure. Yeah, we're in pretty big doo-doo here. I guess I can combat research, so I can pump and attack. They would trade. It's probably actually worth it. I'm just gonna do this. Shacklegeist is like literally so important in the matchup, so we'll take this 2 for 1. Pretty clunky, mopey card, but when you're playing no removal spells, wow. Just gonna go into Spirit, sure. I mean, don't draw land. We draw our 1 of Shacklegeist, though, sure. Our hand is definitely not great, but are they considering a Spectral Sailor here? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know what they're thinking about. Play Shacklegeist. There you go. Supreme Phantom, very important in the mirror also. Attack with Spirit. Alright. So we're not really drawing lands, but we do have our Shacklegeist available, which is pretty good. Keep drawing spirits, it's kind of nice for us. I should have main phase this actually, because now they can counter it possibly. I'm going to go for the really aggro Rattlechains. Sure. Alright. This is the bop. We're pretty behind here. 2 lands to 5. Can't deploy our cards fast enough. All of our cards are counterspells anyway. Alright, well, this attack makes no sense. If they waited before blockers, I wouldn't have blocked probably, because they could threaten a second Phantom, but we're pretty dead here, I think. Alright, there's land 3. Unfortunately, our hand is all counterspells, which is very, very bad. Alright, so go. Tap this bad boy. And I'm going to block. They have a Phantom and a way to stop my counterspells, so be it. Alright. Not ideal. 4 counterspells in hand. This is more of a creature matchup. Play their own Sailor, sure. Have our own Sailor. Alright. Yeah, we're basically just dead here, honestly. Can't stop everything. Can't deploy cards fast enough. The 4 cards in our hand are like almost blank. So they have Sailor going and mana too. Because there's no removal spells, just making land drops, playing Sailor, and drawing cards is very important in the mirror also. So slip out the back, targeting my Shacklegeist. That makes almost no sense, but sure. I'll come back on my next turn. I still get to tap things. Now it's a 3/3 also. I mean, we're probably still dead here, but Okay. We draw Curious Obsession. Best chance to win here is to Obsession and draw another creature and get like some ball of our own rolling. I mean, if I play Lofty here, I can't draw a creature. Yeah, we're just dead. Yeah, tough game. Definitely, the mirror is about making land drops, playing a lot of creatures, and then you know, using your activated abilities to good value because there's no removal spells. We're gonna bring in protection, 4 shredders, 2 borrowers. We're gonna cut the combat research. We're on the play. I'm gonna keep like 2 of these in, but they're pretty hard to get through. I guess actually, you know what? I'm thinking about boarding for the mirror of our exact deck list, which I played multiple times in a tournament. Most people don't have shredders though, so this is actually fine. But when your opponent has 8 1/3 flyers, trying to do Curious Possession, that's not a great idea. But I'm gonna cut a lot of these. This card's pretty mopey until later in the game. Spell Pierce is awkward. Illuminator Snare. Should like a denial or 2. Say Adversaries, interesting. And Spell Pierce. Alright, we'll try this. One of the things about Worlds, of course, is that it's an open deckless tournament. So you know exactly what's in your opponent's deck, so you can sideboard with perfect information. You can't do that on a ladder, obviously. Sure. Getting some PTSD here, I'm not gonna lie. We'll keep this. They're playing a much more stock version of a deck, which is definitely much better in the mirror for sure. Might have Mystical Disputes on the board too. Alright, well, our hand's not bad here. We need to decide if we want to go all in here. And get hit by Borrower. I think we do. Get our cards back immediately. Snare. Sailor. Alright, so land Borrower here, we're pretty sad. Otherwise, I think we're really happy. Combat Research, sure. That's excellent for us. I missed a land drop too. Oh my god. Oh my god. Obsession, Borrower. That's pretty good actually. We're just gonna Borrow of a Spirit. Petty Theft, I should say. So they go with Geistlight Snare up, and we probably can't ever lose. Most games in the mirror aren't like this, but happen sometimes, of course. Now we're on the draw. I don't think that much changes. We're going to leave the Obsessions in again. I think they're not playing Shredders, so... Alright. Looking for some vindication here. 0-2 in the World Championship against Mono Blue. If I'd won either one of those matches, I would have top forward. So... Vindicated! I am Mono Blue. I am sad. Opponent mulligans. Our hand's not great, but I think we're going to keep. We have Shredder and then the removal spell. Love to draw 1-drop, obviously, but... Gonna main phase Sailor, so they're playing around Mystical Dispute, I guess. Attack for 1. Say go. So we're not going to cast our Shredder here. Just play land, say go. We have Adversary or Petty Theft. Here comes old Rattles. In for 3. Plan is to end step this. Wanderer. Sure. Not sure why they're main phasing spirits with Rattlechains in play, but sure. Makes our life a hell of a lot easier, honestly. Because now we can attack through this Wanderer as a 1-1. Draw Geistlight Snare, sure. I think I just like Shredder and Obsession here. We'll just grow our Shredder and get out of range of stuff, and while they're tapped out, just kind of do our things. They have no good blocks here anyway. We get to Shred. We'll discard... I think discarding Wanderer is fine. They're stuck on a land, too. We have Petty Theft, Snare, which is pretty damn good. And of course, the old Shredder's holding the fort here, too, so... They play a Shacklegeist this turn. I guess things are a little ugly. This is like the turn of the game right now. Whatever they resolve this turn, alright, nothing. So now the game's over, I think. Borrower, Snare, Shacklegeist. If I attack, I'm offering up Adversary for Rattlechains. Doesn't really feel particularly great, but I would lose the Obsession anyway. Yeah, sure. Not ideal, but 2 cards in hand and a Wanderer. Oh, now my Snare is actually off too. That kind of sucks, actually. I didn't really consider that, but sure. So you go. They're going to Spirit. We're going to play Rattlechains. They have a Mystical Dispute. Of course they do. Alright, sure. Makes things a little hard, honestly. No blocks. Actually, I can block. They have the Wanderer to counter the Petty Theft, so I can't block. No pumps. Okay. Play Sailor, main phase. Say go. Draw another Geistlight Snare. Alright, so play Shacklegeist. Is their last card another dispute here? No, alright, so now our snares are on. And just say go. And step Rattlechains. I was at a Snare this. They use Wanderer to counter it. Great. I get to Shredder also, which is good too. So we should wait till the Shred happens, but sure. Counter that. We get to Shred. Discard this extra Snare. Make us think of 3/5 so it can block the 4/4 Spirit. Love to draw our own Sailor. Right about that point in the game. Just a land. Okay. Yeah, attacks here don't really play, so we're just going to say go. Step Pump the Spirit. So now it comes down to, do I want to Petty Theft this or not while they're tapped out? I think I do, because they have a lot of things to sink their mana into right now. And so I can resolve this, and I can even resolve the Borrower if I want to, also just to get a Connive trigger. Or I could leave up the Geistlight Snare. Countering the Spirit isn't really that important. Might just get this Borrower in play. Connive, discarding a land, sure. Inching closer to my own Sailor. Supreme Phantom. So pretty good draw. Obviously an important card in the matchup, and don't have our own. We draw another land. Just gonna say go here. I guess trading Borrower for any of these is pretty good for us. Almost down to attack. Makes their own Shacklegeist if they draw it pretty bad. So do that. Say go. Cast Ascendant Spirit. I think I might just counter this. I'm like thrilled about it, but I had to put a lot of mana into it to make it playable. That's fine. Alright, they draw a land. It's kind of annoying. So, but now they have 2 mana sinks. They can't use both of them. I, of course, have 0 mana sinks, which kind of sucks. Cemetery Illuminator. That's a pretty good draw. We're going to play the Illuminator. And I get to exile a creature. And then I can play creatures off the top of my deck, which is super awesome. I don't think there's a card that can have the counters this year, as almost every counter is a soft counter. So resolve that. We're going to hit their top card's a land, obviously. We're going to hit their Sailor. And just going to say go now. I'd have 2 spirits for Shacklegeist too, so... They're going to pump rather than draw. I think it's a huge mistake. Another Sailor. Sure. I think it's much more important just to keep... Once you have Sailor in play and the board stalls like this, you just want to keep pounding card draw to make as many land drops as possible. Pumping this right now doesn't actually do anything. I can just tap it with Shacklegeist. So... Hello. Very, very mana-intensive card. Not a big fan of this card. It's alright, but... Top card is Curious Possession. Why can't we have a creature on top board deck? I don't understand. It's just like the impossible thing to do. Do I want to hold this land to shred away? Or do I want to keep playing land? I want to keep playing lands, honestly. So when I do draw my own Spirit or Sailor, I can really pump it through. And then we'll just say go. A lot of sitting here and staring at each other in the mirror once you hit this point of the game. This is where the mana sinks get really, really good. So hopefully we'll find one of ours soon. We do have a 2-to-1 mana advantage. Curious Possession is not doing a ton right now. I guess I could put it on Shredder and attack, but at least it's kind of defenseless. Just gonna main phase draw. Sure. Top card is Ascendant Spirit. Alright, let's cast that. Top card is Rattlechains. Okay, I like that too. Oh, it's one's turn, right? One's each turn, right? So, do I want to Obsession here and attack with my Shredder? I guess I could just block. It would be a 7 toughness creature. We're going to Chains on their turn also. Yeah, I'll just say go. Attack step. Yeah, I'll tap down the Spirit. Another Supreme Phantom that I cannot counter. That kind of sucks. Let's actually cast this first, see if they counter maybe. Top card's Brazen Borrower. Yeah, it's tough. Maybe exactly 3 mana, huh? Alright, I guess that resolves. Don't really have any attacks here. And we're going to end step. Tap down something large. Pump our spirit up. Let me get our Curious Possession on. Top card is Mausoleum Wanderer. Pretty cool. Top card is Lofty Denial. So let's say we're going to Obsession on the... They're going to cast their own Wanderer. Sure. I guess that makes my attacks bad. I guess we're not going to attack anymore. I'm not sure why they did that, but sure. Top card's Lofty. I mean, Spirit could be a 6/6, which is not even that good. Yeah, we're in for the long haul here, folks. 1, 2 taps. Kind of want to just loot this card away with my Shredder, but all right, I'll just say go. I guess we have Borrower to break up the Phantom. They can just counter it, though. These games are so complicated and dense. Nothing ever dies. Everything has an ability. Also, Dragon Lords is good too. Jakob drew all 4 Supreme Phantoms in me in the final game of my Worlds. It's pretty nasty. Fire up Haven. Wow. Alright, so we're going to tap down the Haven. And I guess tap down the... nothing else actually scares us, honestly. Just gonna let their attacks happen if they want to. We have Petty Theft also. We can always bounce a Lord. Yeah, it's a very complicated board state. Play another Wanderer. That's pretty awkward. Sure. I might actually just counter this, honestly. Just, like, cap this thing off. Yeah, whatever. We're drawing another one anyway, so... Second Wanderer makes resolving spells kind of awkward, so... Get the Spirit going. And we'll tap the larger creature. Land on top. So if you Obsession the 3, 6, 9. If I bounce a Phantom, it's 2, 4, 6, 8 total power potentially. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. So I can bounce a Lord and I can pump this too. So big threat here. If it hits, I draw 2. Oh my god, they're doing it. Oh god. Oh god, don't do this. The humanity. We'll discard a land. Bounce the Phantom. Now they're small. Now they die. And this is just actually just the entire game. It's an absolute massacre. Sure. Yeah, we'll say yep. That's basically it. The whole game is just like building up resources as the game goes on. Counter SP 4 works for me. And both players are like scaling up their boards incrementally. So if one player falls back in that, they can never catch up again. So, alright, cool. Alright, and there you go. Honestly, not the easiest matchup spread. Monocolored decks in general are often tough. Obviously, the mirror is the mirror, but mono red's pretty tough. and then a control deck with Supreme Verdict. So not like the easiest set of matches, none of our really good matchups, but still a 3-0 run. And this deck is sweet. I like this deck a lot. I think, like I said, it's a little worse than an open field, but it's a tricky deck. It's a fun deck. It's challenging to play because on average, all of your cards are worse than your opponent's cards. You're playing Ascendant Spirit and they're playing Bone Rush Giant or whatever. But the synergy here is awesome. A deck that rewards patience, rewards playing around your opponent's cards. Very good to get better at Magic with, honestly. Sideboard could probably use a little work for an open field. But all in all, deck's super fun. We crushed it at Worlds with this deck, and you should play it because it's cool. Thanks for watching, folks. I'm Jim Davis, a delirious Jim Davis. I have a newborn home, for those who don't know. So sleep does not come easily, but thanks for watching. I appreciate that. CoolStuffInc.com, as always, free content every weekday. No paywall ever. Best stuff out there. Games, card games, board games, supplies, you name it, they got it. Promo code Jim5, 5% off your order. I'm Jim Davis. I'll see you next week. Have a good one, folks. Oh, yeah, 10 new brews coming up also. 10 new brews is this week on Thursday on my stream. And then on Friday, my article will be all the brews. Those will all be on YouTube as well. So it's a very fun week, very exciting. Brothers Wars is coming out. My set reviews up on my YouTube as well. Let's check that all out. Exciting times. The content machine keeps on rolling. Thanks for watching. I'm Jim, and keep it going. Keep it real. Have a good one, folks.